All right, let's jump right in. We're going to break down the most fundamental, the absolute smallest building blocks of Python, variables, and the data they hold. And to really get it, we're actually going to start by talking about moving houses. So picture this. You're moving. You've got boxes everywhere, right? One for books, another for shoes, and you've definitely got one special box for that all-important coffee machine. Now, you wouldn't just toss everything in randomly, would you? Of course not. You label them. Kitchen stuff, books. That simple little idea, that's the key to understanding everything we're about to talk about. See that whole labeled box thing? It's the perfect way to think about how variables work in Python. It's really just about storing information in a way that you can find it again in a snap. Okay, so let's get a little more technical for a second. In the world of programming, a variable is basically just a label we stick on a location inside the computer's memory. So instead of a cardboard box, think of it as a tiny chunk of memory. And instead of your shoes, it's holding some data. And this is where it all clicks together. The analogy maps directly to the code. The box, that's just a piece of the computer's memory. The label you scribble on it, that's your variable's name. And the stuff you put inside, well, that's the data, or the value. So when we write a line of code like this one, we're literally telling the computer, hey, grab a box, label it rockets, and put the number 5 inside. Easy, right? Okay, so you've got your labeled boxes, but think about it. You wouldn't put leaky soup in a cardboard box meant for your old photo albums, right? It just wouldn't work. And in the same way, the type of data you're storing in a variable is super, super important. Python needs to know what kind of stuff it's dealing with. So let's break down the 4 basic types you're going to see all the time. First up, we have integers. These are just simple whole numbers, no decimals. Then you have floats, which are pretty much any number that does have a decimal point. After that comes strings, which is just a fancy word for text, any text at all, as long as it's wrapped in quotes. And finally, we have Booleans. These are super simple. They can only ever be true or false. That's it, nothing else. All right, so we know what we can put in the boxes. But what about the labels themselves? How do we name our variables? Well, you can't just go wild. Python has a few simple rules you've got to follow. Let's run through them real quick. Rule 1, you can't use a name that Python already uses for something else, like the word for or if. Those are reserved. Rule 2, the only special character you can use is the good old underscore. No hyphens, no question marks, just the underscore. Rule 3, numbers are fine, but you can't start a variable name with one. And last but not least, these names are case sensitive. That means a variable named Batman with a lowercase b is totally different from one named Batman with a capital B. Python sees them as 2 separate things. And here's a quick look at that in action. On the do side, everything's cool. User score uses an underscore. D9 has a number, but doesn't start with it. All good. But on the don't side, total rule breakers. One uses a dash, another starts with a number, and that last one, well, that's one of those special reserved words. Python will just get confused. Okay, great. So we've got our data packed away in these neatly labeled variable boxes. But so what? What's the point of all this? Well, the point is to actually do stuff with that data. And what you can do is completely tied to what type of data it is. And honestly, this brings us to probably the most important question of all. Why do we even have to care about data types? Why does it matter so much if something's a number or a piece of text? I mean, really, why? Well, here's the perfect answer. It's just common sense, isn't it? You can find the square root of 25. That's 5. But what's the square root of banana? Well, it's complete nonsense. And that's exactly it. Data types are just a way to tell Python which actions make sense and which ones are just plain ridiculous. So when we talk about actions, they usually fall into 3 main buckets. You've got your operators. Think of these as the symbols, like plus, minus, times. Then you have methods, which are like special actions that are built into a specific data type. And finally, you have functions, which are more like general-purpose tools that can work on all sorts of data. Let's make that a little more concrete. Take the plus sign. That's an operator. You can use it to add 2 numbers, sure, but you can also use it to stick 2 strings together. See how it does different things based on the data type? Then you have methods, which are usually type-specific. A string has a cool method to make it all caps, but a number has different methods entirely. And functions are like converters or inspectors. The type function can tell you what kind of data you have, and the string function can turn pretty much anything into a string. Okay, that's enough theory for now. Let's see what this looks like in some actual code, both when it works and, more importantly, when it breaks. So here's a super simple example. We've got a variable that holds a name. Then we try to print a sentence by adding our greeting to that variable. Since they're both strings, they're both text, Python is totally happy. It just smushes them together. Perfect. But what about this? Here we have a height stored as a number, a float to be specific. And we're trying to do the same thing, add it into a sentence. We're trying to add a string to a number. What do you think is going to happen? And crash. We get a big, scary-looking type error. But don't worry, it's not that complicated. All this error message is saying is, hey, you can't concatenate or add a number to a string. I only know how to add strings to other strings. It's our square root of banana problem all over again, but this time right in our code. So what's the fix? It's actually really simple. We just use one of those general tools we talked about, a function. We wrap our number variable inside the string function. This tells Python, hey, before you do anything else, take this number and turn it into a piece of text. And once it's text, Python can add it to the other text with no problem at all. Problem solved. So there you have it. We now know how to take a box, give it a label, and stick a single item inside, whether it's a number, some text, or true-false value. But what if you need to pack a whole collection? What if you need a box that can hold not just one name, but a whole list of names? Well, that is a fantastic question, and it's the next big step in your Python journey.